All right, guys, welcome back to Beautiful Mind. Thank you to all my viewers and subscribers. And if you're new here today, I'm Roland Attenborough. I'm the leading Gann scientific and analytical researcher. Today, we're going to be talking about Chapter 4 in Mr. Gann's commodity course, The Basis of Forecasting, with his method. This is grains, but you can use it for every single thing. And we're going to be talking about the geometric angles. Then we're going to be talking about my 2011 silver chart where I show you how I traded that in exact method of Gann style trading with all his tools and rules. And I don't add anything to Mr. Gann. Everything that Mr. Gann has taught me from all his books and courses, I, of course, employ, and I, of course, show you how to do that. And I, of course, own all his books and courses. All right, let's just dive right in. So, chapter 4 is an enormous chapter. We're just going to take a quick look at it. And when you come to my courses, I will show you how to do all these things. So, in this, Mr. Gann is teaching us how to draw geometric angles properly on our pattern charts and to record the prices properly and to run them up from different places from our bottom and to watch our 45-degree angle and to find out where the position of a stock or an asset is strong or weak. And all these rules here in this 28 page document is all the things that I teach, and of course, I employ all of them, and I'm going to show you that in its entirety. I think you're going to be really pleased today. Okay, so Mr. Gann teaches you about how to use the square. Here, Mr. Gann shows us the different sides of the square and the strength and the weakness that can be recorded within a square and how to find out where we can expect the changes to occur. Form 2, he speaks about the 1 times 1 angle on a grid chart and, of course, all the other angles, 2 times 1, 3 times 1, 4 times 1, and then the 8 times 1. So these are important angles to find out where we are in a strong position in a bull market when above the 45-degree angle. All right. Form number 3 is where he talks about a bear side where the weakness first comes after time has run out or has squared out with price, and staying below this 45-degree angle in this 1 times 1 grid would show some weakness. So we can find where points in time or where the price may be in the future. Here, form 4, we would put this on at the top of an asset, and we would watch the bear market and the positions below the 45-degree angle to determine the strength and weakness of that. That's form 4. Form number 5, this is the strongest positions in a bear market above the 45-degree angle. And all these angles are always the same. 1 times 1, 2 times 1, 4 times 1, 8 times 1. Okay, here it gets a little bit more kicked up. Form number 6, we talk about the crossing of lines. We got our 1 times 2, our 1 times 1 and our 1 times 2 angles, and we run these out. And where they crisscross, where we have our reactions, we can expect in the future price or time to vibrate to these areas or to eventually maybe get up to these areas, especially off of triple bottoms. So interesting that these are all parallel. That's form 6, triple bottoms. Watch out for the crossings. We're going to talk about all this on my chart as well. Form 7, we're looking at angles from zero, from the very zero. So if your asset's at 20, you have a zero angle. You'll find out on this 1 times 2 angle here where this weakness is and where a good place to buy or possibly sell, staying above these or below these angles. That's form 7. That's the zero angle. Form 8 teaches us in a bear market or after our first reaction, we run a 90-degree angle and we can find our next buying opportunity for a reaction in a bear market. All right, that's form 8. Form 9, we're talking about parallel channels where we look for selling an asset when it's showing strength above and vibrating at the 45-degree angle, staying above the 1 times 2 angle, indicating great strength. We would link our first swing top and we would find our second one. That's form 9. Form 10 is exactly the same, just opposite. We're waiting for a reaction off of our 1 times 2 angle. It breaks our 45-degree angle. We start drawing our downward angles of 1 times 2 and 1 times 1. After our strong first reaction, we would run a parallel line with our 45-degree angle. That would be a reaction for our first buy. Mr. Gann is always right. Form 11, we just continue on with this. We come up with our 1 times 2 angle. We have a reaction behind that. We sit on the 45-degree angle, indicating some more strength. Sitting below this top and failing to cross this, indicating weakness. The 45-degree angle we would run from our reactions, parallel lines and 45-degree angles. We would find a sharp decline and a proper area to buy the asset and sell it when it comes back up to the 45-degree angle. This is Form 11. This is Mr. Gann. Here we talk about Form 12, squaring the range. For instance, Bitcoin is stuck right now between a range of 31 and 25. So this is how we do our ranges and find the next change in trend. So let's just say we would go out 31 weeks or 25 weeks, or from the bottom, 15 weeks. This is how we do it. I teach you all this stuff that Mr. Gann does. All right, so I'm sorry I went through that a little bit quick, but I'm trying to keep these tutorials short and sweet, and of course keep you really interested and knowledge knowing. This is, of course, this is my silver 2011 chart. I primarily focus on Bitcoin, but back then I was trading a lot of assets, and silver was one of them. This one I made some really good money using all of Gann's tools, so I thought I would share that with you, and today we're going to do that. So this is everything that Mr. Gann has taught me. So you're now about to witness the strength of esoteric knowledge put into motion. Here we go. I'm just going to focus this camera down a little bit so we can get a better view of this in greater detail so that we can discuss this. All right, so we're going to talk about this. This is my hand-drawn September, sign of Virgo. This is the 2011 option, okay? And I follow all of Mr. Gann's rules. He says not to buy an option or an asset or anything until it breaks above its old top and sits on it. We're going to talk about that. Okay, so coming back from the very bottom in August of 2011, silver was at $18 an ounce. And I was watching it make this bottom over a little series of times, and I knew that something was going to happen. So I started to draw my angles up as Mr. Gann would do. This one is actually at a 49-degree angle on this grid. It's just over the 1 times 1 angle. However, my other lines here, these red ones that you can see here, these are 1 times 1, and this is a 1 times 4 angle. So the asset started to kick up. But before we talk about that, here's all my counts that he talks about. You have to count from all these bottoms, the next reaction, and where the top will be. Back here, let's take a look at this. This is really important. I drew the natural square right on my chart. So my support, right, 18, 19, and all these levels are all the levels moving around on a square. And I, of course, put these color codings on my chart here, and we're going to talk about them. So this is, of course, where we could sit and see overhead resistance, and we could expect a pullback. Here I put the Jupiter 12-year cycle on here from our top, running it out. We might talk about this as well, but let's just jump right into the chart and talk about the angles and how I was able to sell 2 days before the top exactly. So I was watching this. Mr. Gann says to watch this for a reaction. We made our first top, and we had a reaction here at 29 and 30. Here you can see these are all my square of 9 resistance and support markings. They're all color coordinated. From our first sharp top, I was watching our reaction and our base at 25. This was a very important area right here. And so was this 28. This was extremely important. And it shows up here. These are our resistance areas, and here's our support at 28. So we needed to hold that. We had another heavy reaction where we broke up, and I drew my angles up again. We sat around this top, so it was indicating that it was vibrating around here, making a top. I watched it carefully as it had a pullback. Mr. Gann says, never buy an asset until it breaks above its old tops. Otherwise, it's very weak. When it breaks above its old top and it sits on its old top, that is the safest place to buy the asset. So silver had a major reaction. It came back and it sat at 28 right here. There's my color coordinating. There's 28. From there, I drew the angles up. Waiting for this reaction, we were watching these to see if we were going to get these dead cat bounces. And in fact, it stayed above these angles, so I drew another angle that was steeper again, the 1 times 2. We, of course, did. We broke out, and I was waiting for this. But I was waiting, more importantly, for it to sit down on top of its old top. It did, but it sat higher, right on my angle. So I called the broker, and I entered a call. It was a 50 strike. It cost me $1,725. From there, the market broke up again, making another swing. I drew a proposed swing line and noticed my angles. They're parallel and 1 times 1 and 1 times 2 Gann angles. We're not even going to talk about the planetary bodies. We can discuss that at my forecasting seminar and whatnot. From there, we had a reaction and it sat back down on the 45-degree angle here. I was very nervous it was possibly going to break back. However, holding this 45-degree angle gave me great confidence. And from there, that's right, the bull market ensued, and the third part, or the third section of this bull market, went underway. And I followed it all the way up through these square of 9 resistance points. Notice how they catch us, and notice how our green square of 9 points catch us exactly on my chart. Are you watching this? I teach all this. This is Mr. Gann, not me. So here we go. I was getting nervous that we were going to get another reaction, but we stayed above this 1 times 2 angle, and we continued up. We stayed above these resistance levels, and we continued on. And when we came to our old top at 45 an ounce in January 1980, that's right, Mr. Gann taught me, sell and walk away. That's exactly what I did. I made 10,000 profit on this ticket right here on this position. This was a really terrific trade, and I sold it 2 days before the top. I don't care that I missed this. I don't care. I got out, and right where I got out, that's right, our parallel angle crossed, and then the bear market ensued right here, and it just continued down, and it continued down at a really heavy pace. You can see it went down really far. How would we have caught this angle? Okay, well, we drew a 0 angle from our old bottom here, from our resistance level. And I drew it up at a 45-degree angle, and bingo, there was our next buy. I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. Everything I do is Mr. Gann. Like, subscribe, share with your colleagues. Hit me up, leave a comment. I read all the comments. And sign up to my course. I'll teach you everything about how to trade like this and how to make forecasts and how to follow through with them. This is my website here. I don't think we can see it actually. Nope, sorry. Anyways, you can go to my website, DeBoff Enterprises, and you can take a look at all my stuff. This here is my square 9, and I make these, and this is all exactly under Mr. Gann. This is how I'm able to forecast and find the tops and bottoms. If you wish to do that, you can sign up to my courses. Just go on over to DeBoff Enterprises here. You can also go on my link below on My Beautiful Mind, and you can sign up to my courses or buy a square 9 off me, and I'll teach you everything I know about this stuff. It's really deep stuff, and no one else is teaching this kind of material in this context. And I cover it greatly. I've studied Mr. Gann for quite a while. I don't know. It's something to do with numbers with me. I love numbers, and I have an affinity with numbers, and I really love all of Mr. Gann's work. It's truthful. It's factual, and everything he says about all this stuff is actually 100% true. And I just showed you on my silver chart here how that is. And come on back and hit us up. We're looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you for joining us here today on Beautiful Mind. Take care out there. Peace and love.